Hello YouTubers. Okay, this week we did get a calm day and it was actually very nice and calm, nice blue skies, and we got out on the runway to do our bunny hops according to the FAA flight test program. We did about 7 runs up and down the runway. It was calm enough we could actually do bunny hops going both directions on the field. We did get off the ground, and we did discover a few things on the aircraft. First of all, it does take a little bit of right rudder. We're compensating for P factor, mostly because I'm at a very high angle attack. What happens is I'm going down the runway and I don't give it full power, I give it about 2,000 RPM. Wait till I get about 40 miles an hour, then more or less lift it off the runway and then reduce the power and then come on back down. I did basically do a nice drop test on the landing gear, which it survived quite well because I dropped in from about 3 feet. I accidentally pulled the power off a little bit too quicker, and I just basically stalled again. We did find out that the stall speed is roughly about 35 miles an hour indicated. The higher angle of attacks will vary this speedometer airspeed indication, and it's mostly because I'm moving the airplane fairly rapidly through the different angles of attack, simply because I'm staying within a very short range of the pavement, which is intentional. I do have some videos of those bunny hops, which I will post a little bit later. The aircraft did well. I did pretty well. I did drop one in, like I said. It's interesting that the airspeed, the actual stall speed is about predicted. It is a no flap stall speed and power off, but it stalls straight ahead and it's not too violent, and it doesn't really drop all that fast. It drops slow enough that the gear will catch it from 3 feet without too much trouble. So we did find a couple little things on the plane after all the bunny hops. Nothing that was caused by the bunny hops, but things that need to be addressed. One of the things is my radios did have a lot of static in them, and that has been fixed. It was a relatively easy fix once I learned how to use the actual radio, because I thought my radios that I bought had an automatic squelch level on them, but I found out that's the radio model a couple above what I bought. So once I learned how to manually control the squelch, the static pretty much went away. The radio reception is clear, but it's not real loud. And although I can hear the tower, it's a little faint, and it's a little unnerving because when I do rev the engine, I kind of lose them. So we're have an audio amplifier on order, and it should be here this next week. So before I actually take off and actually do the flight through the pattern, we're going to attach that amplifier in there and hopefully solve the problem, which is okay because the wind is pumping back up and it's not going to be good for another week and a half. So it's pretty much where we're at. Following this video is a series of videos that shows you the problems we came across, and I'll explain it in those videos, and hopefully you'll enjoy. All right, take care. Here we are inside the cockpit, and this is where the rudder pedals are. And my airplane does not have a nose wheel, so that the nose wheel would normally connect or interconnect the left and right rudders to make sure that all the cables remain taut. And I've had to design this cable between the rudders, as you can see. And I found that when I had pressure on both the rudder pedals of my feet, that the cable has a little bit of a slack in it. And what I'm going to do is tighten up on the right side rudder cable because I've noticed the airplane seems to need a little bit of right rudder. So essentially, it's not going to be much adjustment, but what it will do is give me a little bit more right rudder trim, more or less, and just to make sure that cable stays taut and that it can't jump out of the pulleys, even though there are safety cotter pins in there to keep from doing that. But just to be on the safe side, we're going to put just a little bit more tension on the rudder pedals, and to avoid any problems with the cable pulling slack or jumping out of their controls. Here I'm underneath the airplane, and you can notice there's some cross runners here that are stabilizing the mounting of the plates. And this is the actual
You know, it's hard to believe that all those
landing
videos
gear.
that you have in that little
As you can see,
camera,
it's clamped.
a lot of them are pretty damn good.
Exhaust. And
Yeah, the one you have.
I'm going to actually put a plate across this opening so that the airflow will continue on without causing any dirt and, cuts down on the corrosion and stuff. And as you can see, these cables have gotten a little bit slack. I think it's just because I've been working the airplane a little bit and stretched them a little bit and basically got them into their normal shape. They're very short, so it doesn't take much distance or much stretching to make them slack. They're going to be tightened up. I'm going to put a plate across this opening where the normal gear leg would go and seal it off so that it keeps salt water and dirt and everything else out of the plate. So those are the problems, and that's how we're going to address them. Take care. Love you.